Hello everyone. It's been a little while since I've had a chance to do a video. We've been working today to get our gardens tilled up, and we're planning on doing a lot of planting tomorrow. The weather seems to be really nice for the next week or so on the forecast, so if they're right, I'm hoping to get my garden covers out so I can put my tomatoes in about a week earlier than normal. Our little plot over there by the trees, our kids are putting in some giant pumpkins in there, so I hope they'll have fun with that. This garden will be my main one with my tomatoes and peppers and beans and most of that stuff in here. We're going to be going with the landscape fabric and a living mulch system in this one. I cleaned out this raised bed about 2 weeks ago and transplanted my onion seedlings in here. They're not doing too bad. They're a little bit yellowed right now because we had a whole bunch of rain that stressed them out. Lettuce transplants are doing pretty good. And then we've got our broccoli here. We did get a little rain shower today. Crabgrass is coming back in, so I'll be weeding tomorrow night in here. We've got the purple cauliflower. And then down on the end is the cabbage. These two beds along the back and the far side haven't been worked up, but they're going to be cleaned up tomorrow. This one here in the middle, the spinach seed that I sowed back in March, has been coming up really well. We should be harvesting this in a few weeks. There's still lots of little baby plants coming up in here. I had turnips sown in here, and I didn't want to weed this one because I didn't want to disturb the soil where they were coming, but I see they're starting to come up in here now. So now that I know where they are, it'll be easier for me to weed these out. And down here, we have our little green onions. Lots of things growing in the greenhouse. My tomatoes desperately need to be transplanted into either a larger pot or into the garden, which is why I think I'm going to put them right out in the garden now that the weather's getting nicer early. I went and transplanted all these into larger pots about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, and they outgrew them pretty quickly. I ended up having only half as many tomatoes as I had started with because the germination rate was so bad for all the different varieties. So I started another flat over there a couple days ago, and they haven't come up yet, but that's all my Heinz paste tomatoes. So that should be another 50 plants if they all germinate. I've started some of my squash in the back there, and they're not doing too bad, but again, some of the germination rate on some of them is pretty slow. There's about 3 or 4 different varieties in each tray, so it could just be a difference in that as well. Down on the bottom, I've got flats of cucumbers. Normally I do direct seed those, but my melons and squash did so well last year, being started ahead of time, I thought I would try this year. And because the germination rates seem to be really bad, I thought this would give me a little help too, because if they don't all germinate, I can save space by direct seeding extras to fill in the gaps. And on the bottom back there, or in the back left corner there, is a flat that my kids have started. They've got different types of cherry tomatoes and lettuce and some cucumbers. We've got all kinds of different tomatoes. I think that's some of the stew pice. They're a potato leaf variety. I'll do another garden update tomorrow after I finish transplanting everything and show things a little bit more closely. I've got the heater and some other stuff running in here that I don't want to walk over right now. And we've got a bumblebee nest that we have to deal with. Another reason I don't feel like going in here. Down in the back right corner, there's a bumblebee nest that started about a week ago. And we've got to get everything out of here so we can get the shelves out and take care of that. I don't like killing them, but they don't like sharing this with me, so we won't have a choice. We've got our main garden bed all tilled up here. A few people have asked how large this one is. It's about, I think it's about 110 feet long, and it's about 35 to 40 feet wide at this end. It's a little bit narrower at the far end. This year we're going to be putting our potatoes in here, so we're expecting a good harvest. This garden actually has a spring underneath it, we believe, because it's a little spot that always stays quite wet. So last year when we had the drought, they were planted in the other garden, which is much drier, and we didn't get nearly as good a yield. We ended up having to buy potatoes this spring. Oh, we have lots for seed, but they were so small they really weren't worth peeling, and they were starting to get soft and whatnot. So we also got the kids' garden ready today, and they're real excited about that. They had a great time picking rocks out of here and whatnot, so some of this will be planted tomorrow as well. And they pretty much look after this all on their own. And to help them keep up with the weeds, I'm thinking about trying some the landscape fabric in here around some of the tomatoes and whatnot for them as well. Hey, take care everyone, and I hope to do another video soon to show what we're planting this weekend.